The virtues of the compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to lead suffering, attain bliss and virgin death, and quickly realize non-birth. No Vietnamese today? The nun is not coming. So, Namo Saranto Suche Doye, Velavali Samyam Sambuddhosye.
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 The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma, in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning. For Buddhists and Bodhisattvas, Venerable YongHua, or knowing advisors, Amitofo. This marks the first time we are lecturing on the Medicine Master Sutra at Bolsa here. We lectured this sutra last year in English, and this year we hoping that we can transmit the Dharma here to the Vietnamese. And apparently there's a Bhikshuni from Rosemead Temple was supposed to be here. Actually, two of them were supposed to come here today, but they did not make it because something came up. So maybe next week, they said, when the one Bhikshuni said. Okay, I'm hoping that I could explain it and teach it to transmit the Dharma, in particular to the new people as well as the Vietnamese, because this Dharma is not available in the Vietnamese Mahayana. The lecture on this Medicine Master Sutra, we first of all should give recognition to the fact that we're using the English text, which is translated from Chinese. And I want to make a passing reference to the fact that the Buddhist Text Translation Society has been doing an excellent job translating Mahayana Sutras from Chinese into English. To me, they have been doing a superb job. They are creating an English vocabulary that I have been able to take advantage of use in our lectures and our Mahayana propagation. So for that, I'm grateful for that. I want to tip my hat to them and say thank you. They've been doing a good job, and maybe that's why this year I might go to the City of 10,000 Buddha's 30th anniversary celebration as a small gesture to express my thanks for their hard work and the quality of the work. We are at our vantage point where East meets West. In the Western culture, it was dominated by religious philosophies like Catholicism, Islam, and so on. the emphasis is on death, meaning that after death, the aspiration is to go to God's country. So the strength of those particular religious faiths is on there's a death dharma involved that enables living beings, people particularly, to be born in God's heavens. In contrast, Eastern culture is through the influence of Confucius, Lao Tzu, Chuang-Tzu, and so on, Mencius, and so on. They emphasize way virtue. They emphasize this lifetime. They emphasize on living a good life and living a virtuous life. Okay. In the Asian model, the Confucius model, it has 4 parts as far as way virtue is concerned. First of all, you improve yourself. Number 2, you rectify or align your family. Rectify here has a sense of making it even. Okay? Meaning that everything is where they're supposed to be. The dad has behaved like a father. The son, the daughter has to behave like a son and daughter. Everything is even supposed to be in the proper place. Okay? That's the significance between the meaning of rectifying the family. Okay? You see the progression in this Eastern philosophy. First of all, you look at yourself. You correct your mistakes first. Okay? You work on improving yourself. Once you got a handle on your own problems, then you broaden that. You include all the other family members' problems to be your own. Okay, so there's natural extension of the realm of cultivation. Working by yourself is very challenging, but when you involve others, it's even more challenging. Okay, so that's what rectifying family involves. And the third level is you govern the country. Okay, you expand from family unit, you expand it to society, to the country in general. Okay, that is a normal aspiration. And beyond that, you pacify the world. Okay, that is the Confucian model of cultivation. Any questions? So the emphasis here is of this Dharma as this very life. The Eastern culture focuses on this very life. Alright? Questions? No questions? Then, yes, you notice, Buddhism got translated from India to China. And Buddhism introduces the concept of Pure Land. Okay? Each Buddha, when you cultivate, let's say you use the Confucian model to cultivate, you can cultivate and go very far. And the ultimate end point is you become a Buddha. When you become a Buddha, you have your own Pure Land. Each single Buddha has his own Pure Land. Okay? And this Pure Land comes about because of when they were cultivating on the causal grounds, meaning that when they're cultivating in the Bodhisattva vehicle, they made fearless and far-reaching vows. And after they made those vows, they courageously undertook very difficult practices. Okay? And over the years, after a long, long time, many, many lifetimes, they perfected those both practices and vows. And because of their perfection, the end result is that they are replete with merit and virtues. Okay? And because of their abundance of merit and virtues, they relying on the proper and the adornments, okay, they accomplish the Pure Lands. That's how difficult it is. Unlike let's say the Western religious system, they believe in the heavens up there. Okay, the Buddhist hierarchy, cosmos is also include those heavens, recognizes the reality of the existence of those heavens. But the Buddhist model is also introduces the concept of Pure Land where if you cultivate, you have your own country, you have your own Pure Land. Okay, that's why do you need a Pure Land, by the way? Why would you need a Pure Land? The same reason, similar reason like why God needs the heavens to bring you up there so that you can serve God. Okay? The Buddhas need to create Pure Land because they allow people to go to the Pure Land so that the people with the proper affinities with the Buddhas can go to those Pure Lands and cultivate. They have a better chance of success. For example, our world right now, Sada world, is in essence a Pure Land. But that manifests as a defiled land. Because there's so much defilement here. Okay? But it's only the surface. Actually, the flip side of it is a real Pure Land. If you cultivate in this place here, in this world here, and become enlightened, you can see this world as a Pure Land. It's no longer defiled. Okay, that's the beauty of outside world. Okay. But anyway, that's a secret. Most people don't realize it. Therefore, most people only see the defilements. Why did we bring the Pure Land Dharma to the world? Because of the fact that living beings are becoming powerless. Okay, they lost a lot of internal powers, deluded themselves, defile themselves, make it much harder for themselves to cultivate. Inside they dried up the fearlessness. Cultivation requires a lot of fearlessness. Okay, because you have, to undergo a lot of tests, very scary tests. And outside, the living beings do not have enough meritorious practices. Like asking people to cross their legs and bear the leg pains is unreasonable. Okay? Because as soon as the pain arises, they lose self-control. Immediately lose self-control. Okay? They are so reliant on others for existence that they fall far short of the standards of the Buddha's self-reliance. And therefore, because of all these above aforementioned reasons, they need to rely on others' power to make it more likely to increase their chance of success. And this is why the Pure Land Dharma is the most appropriate Dharma for this Dharma any age. Any questions? All you have to do with this Pure Land Dharma revolves around the simple concept that go reborn into the Pure Land, and once you get to the Pure Land, you will guarantee success. You will become enlightened. There's no more uncertainty. Whereas if you evolve in the wheel, you keep on reincarnating through the 6 realms, the 6 paths, then you, at some point in time, you have been born as a god, you enjoy heavenly blessings. And those blessings right now, you fall to the lower realms and undergo a lot of sufferings. So it cycles through like that endlessly unless you find a way to escape it. Okay? So this is where the Buddha's genius comes in, because he sees all these endless cycles of sufferings. People go through the cycles of happiness and suffering, and they don't realize it. Okay? Every time you're born, you forget what would happen in a prior lifetime. And therefore, it takes people, a person of the Buddha's wisdom to come in and tell us that, you don't need to keep on going through the endless cycles of suffering. Okay? There's a way to get out. Now, knowing how weak and how wimpy you are and how impatient you are, you want success right now. You can't wait, right? So the Dharma and Dharma is designed to do that. It's designed to give you an experience to escape on the side. Okay, the analogy of Dharma and Dharma that very beautiful is that it's like a worm trying to climb up the bamboo trunk. Okay. If you climb it from the inside, it has to cross all these middle things. What are they called? They're very hard, right? The eyes, the bamboo, each bamboo section has a center. There's a joint right there. That joint is very, very tough. So it has to gnaw through that joint, and so many joints like that until it gets to the top. It escapes. Whereas it's called self-reliance. Whereas that's a charm Dharma door. Whereas if you were to rely on the Pure Land Dharma, it's like boring a hole on the side of the bamboo trunk. And then once you get outside the trunk, it's much easier to climb up the bamboo tree. That's the analogy of Pure Land Dharma. Okay? Because of the importance of Pure Land Dharma, Shakyamuni Buddha, when he brought the teaching to this world, Saha world, he introduces two major dharmas. Two enormous dharmas. They're both Pure Land Dharmas. One dharma is from Amitabha, and one dharma is from Medicine Master Buddha. Okay? Amitabha Buddha is to the west of our world. Amitabha stands for limitless life or limitless light. And the Dharma there is, his specialty is the Dharma to bring you to his Pure Land upon death. As soon as possible. Preferably this very lifetime. Okay? Because he has this vow where he says, I have very adorned Buddha land, very pure, where once people go there, they will become a Buddha in one lifetime. That's it. Okay? No more rebirth. In one lifetime, you will become Buddha, guaranteed. You also have a limitless life as well. Okay, the life has a very long life when you can cultivate until you succeed, until you get to the end goal of becoming a Buddha. Okay, and the difficulty of that is that how to get there. And Amitabha's specialization is to bring us to his Pure Land. That's the strength of his Dharma. His vow when he was on the causal grounds is that my Pure Land Dharma specializes in pulling people to my Pure Land. Okay? And that's the Buddhist answer to the Western culture where they're so worried about next lifetime, about death. This is more or less a death Dharma for the Western adherents, if you will. Whereas Medicine Master Buddha, also another Buddha land, it's a different direction on the east. His specialty is also Pure Land, because if you practice that Dharma door, you also will be rewarded as Pure Land or Amitabha's Pure Land. He's broader in that sense. You have a choice. You can go to his Pure Land or you can go to Amitabha's Pure Land. You don't have to go to his Pure Land. Okay? Buddhas do not compete against each other. Believe it or not. Okay? But Medicine Master Buddha's Dharma specializes, another part of his specialty is he helps quell disasters and give long life and bestow blessings. Why is that? They are in sync, because if you believe in the Pure Land, then you know that upon death, that is the best thing that could happen to you, to anyone. Bar none. All the great bodhisattvas want to be reborn in Amitabha's Pure Land. Okay? All of them. So you know that that is a prime destination upon death. If the bodhisattvas also want to be reborn there, then I want to go there too myself. I don't know about you. There's a lot of things I still don't understand. And if Manjushri Bodhisattva and Guanyin Bodhisattva says, when I die, I want to be reborn there, that's why I want to be reborn. Okay? But on the other hand, what to do now until you die? You still have to resolve a lot of this life's problems, this life's challenges. And this is where Medicine Master Buddha comes in. He says, okay, I know you guys believe in a Pure Land, good boy and good girls. But until you are reborn, you have to take care of your body. You have to make sense out of this current life you have. Okay? So he provides a Dharma to help us smooth out our cultivation path. Now, the rebirth Dharma is very popular since the Tang and the Song dynasties. Okay? A few thousand years ago. That's when they become popular in China. And they specialize in rescuing the deceased and that's the thing. This is a nice addition, because all your relatives, your deceased relatives, can also receive assistance. Okay? That's the compassionate part, aspect of the Pure Land Dharma. And the focus on rebirth on the Western Buddhist Pure Land at death time. And as a result, because of these Chinese cultural differences, Amitabha Buddha tends to be better known in the Asian culture than Medicine Master Buddha. Most people in more Asian people would know about Amitabha than they would know about Medicine Master Buddha. Okay. In particular, the Vietnamese, their Medicine Master Buddha is very poor, very pitiful, if you ask me. They don't have a lot of, they lost a lot of that Dharma. Perhaps because they don't have the same kind of responses. As the other dharmas, like the Pure Land, like Amitabha and Guanyin, for example. In essence, the rebirth to Amitabha's Pure Land is one of the biggest Chinese exports. to the world, 2 to 3 years. Because they exported the rebirth Dharma to Japan, to Korea, to Vietnam, you name it. Okay, and therefore it is one of the Chinese treasure, one of the wonderful gifts from the Chinese to the world. Now we bring it to this country, to the West. Okay. This is truly one of the better gifts to the world from China. This morning, the nun, the abbess was supposed to drive the other nun to come here this week only to participate, to take a look at our medicine master assembly. And what happened is that they made arrangements throughout the week, right? There's emails flying in all 4 directions, back and forth. And it finally got to the point where we finalized the timing and who's going to come pick one nun up, and Thursday, the day before yesterday, she emailed me and said, "Oh, the other nun wants to come and take a look, and she would be glad to give her a ride." Okay, so we had to email everyone and say, no, don't come pick her up. It's okay. Now she got a ride. Then yesterday she emailed me informing me that they're not coming because there is a well-known healer who can heal a lot of sicknesses, who's coming that the Buddhist disciples invited to come to Rosemead Temple to do healing. So that's why they can't come. So what happened is that medicine master Dharma got some externalist competition. And we lost out. The nun lost out. Okay? The Vietnamese Buddhists lost out. Why did I say that? Because of the mindset that's prevalent nowadays. They get sick and they would turn to some kind of quick fixes to get rid of their sicknesses. That's what everyone's after. Just take care of it. Just get rid of it for me. I don't want to know. Just get rid of it for me, right? That kind of mindset. And that's why it doesn't work. And then with that kind of mindset, they turn to people like the Tibetans. To say, oh, you know to heal people, so let's invite the Tibetan masters come to our house, and then for lunch receive offerings, and then after all that food and all the ceremonies, then they do private healing. They would heal you, and it works for a while, and then it stops working. You know that? That's what happens to them. The Tibetans are very effective initially. Same thing with these externalists, like the guy who's coming now to heal at the temple. He's externalist, I imagine, and what he does is that he's gonna do some healing, and since he's well known to heal, I'm sure that he's gonna help some people, and then they receive some help. And then it's going to work for a while. And then we stop working. Would you like to know why?
Yes.
Because they are not healing it properly. The sicknesses have 2 major categories. Number 1 is the body sicknesses, like the sicknesses that come along with your birth process, the aging process, death process. They have a whole bunch of sicknesses that come with that. Okay? or you can might add the work process. You work and you drain yourself. You expose yourself to sicknesses. That's a form of body sickness. Okay? For example, people like in the medical field, Randy, they expose themselves to a lot of body sicknesses because they're mad. Okay? No two ways about it. When you meddle, you pay the price. I can give you an example. My brother has a stroke last year, so he's been seeing this acupuncturist who does not charge money. So he ranks up there in my list of heroes. Okay? I would rank him even higher than a lot of monks and nuns who here, to tell you the truth. Okay? Because I consider it a pretty virtuous thing to do, to heal and not take money. They've been doing that for 7 generations now. Think about it. Actually, I was about to refer you to him, but since you cultivate him so seriously, you don't need his help anymore. You're going to bypass his help just in no time. Okay? Because you need you need to work on that eventually. It's going to come to that. And actually, it's just like it took her a while to get rid of her ghost, and now her leakages. Okay, so it takes a while, but you're on the path to take care of that. But 7 generations, all they do is they transmit their Dharma to the firstborn. That's it. The secondborn does not have the right to learn that Dharma. Okay, so this guy here happened to learn the Dharma. He's not the firstborn because he's learning because the firstborn has some problems, so he cannot learn the Dharma. Okay, ran into some problems. Okay, so his family, his father is a 90-year-old. He's learning now for the last 10 years. He's learning that their own acupuncture Dharma. No herbs. You go to the acupuncturist. They use needles. Did you give you herbs? You know why? Then it makes it easier for them to charge you money. You see, you guys have to feel good about, giving money in exchange for something else that you can bring home. Okay? These guys, they use acupressure, they use acupuncture, no herbs. Okay? So this is one of the few good guys I run into. Okay? So they can help you heal with your body sicknesses. They've been doing that for generations now. Okay? And guess what happens? The dad, 90 years old, have had a stroke. Now, I invited that guy to come here to participate in our assembly because he's also very eager to learn. My interest is that if he comes and learn our Dharma, it's going to help him broaden his understanding of his Dharma. Because our Dharma is much broader than his. Okay? And he can learn and add more to his family trade secrets and help more people. That's what this is about. Okay? But now he can't come because now the 90-year-old father need to be helped. Every time that his dad takes a shower, they have to pay attention. They have to watch him because if he slips or he passes out, he could get into serious trouble. Okay? 90-year-old has a stroke. Okay? And guess what? So what happens? They're all healthy otherwise. They have a sister. He has a sister who's demented. Dementia. So they have to keep an eye on her 24/7. So do not think that when you meddle, you can get away with it. There's a price to pay. Okay? No two ways about it. They've been meddling at lifetime after lifetime, generation after generation. That's how it manifests in terms of retribution. Scary thing, think about it. It's very serious business. You don't fool around with these things. Okay? That's why I have utmost respect for medical field people, because they suffer. You pay the price of your body, one way or the other. The reason you're not suffering yet because of prior accumulation of blessings. They're shielding you. Yeah? You're a pretty sick woman until you started cultivating. Isn't that right? You're so much healthier now than before, right? Without any medical intervention. You heal yourself. Okay? So that's the difference between Mahayana perspective. We help you deal with your body sicknesses and also the mind sicknesses. They come together. It's not separate. One feeds on the other. The mind sicknesses are based on the three poisons: greed, hatred, and stupidity. If you have those minds, it's probably not a problem for most of you. Greed, no greed, right? Not greedy by anything. No anger, right? Huh? Wow. None whatsoever, right? And stupidity, I try to tell one of my disciples about overeating and obesity. She said, the first thing she did, no, in my family, we have the genes of being heavyset. Yeah, right. And this, as if only can be explained by genes only, not by the amount of food you take every day. Okay, denial. One of the extreme, the most difficult forms of intervention. You can't help people who deny it. They deny the problem they have. They deny the existence of this problem. That's sheer stupidity. Okay? So if you want to deal with the sicknesses, you have to deal with both the body and mind sicknesses. If not, your approach is lacking. Okay? So people who would look for quick fixes will be disappointed in the long haul. There's no quick fixes. Yes, of course, we have to show you that yes, we can help deal with your body sicknesses. But by the way, there's some mind sicknesses you better fix as well, you better look at as well. Okay? If not, they'll come back. They'll be back. Okay? So, in fact, when you look at the Western medicine as Eastern medicine, the Western medicine doctors, the Western trained doctors now look to the East for acupuncture and herbs and so on. But in addition, they also look at what? The trend has been going on for a few generations now. Lifestyles. Right? It's what you eat. It's how you live your life. What you put in your body. Okay? How you manage your strength. That affects your well-being. That's what the Western doctors emphasize. And some of those famous doctors are popular because they emphasize lifestyle. They talk about lifestyle. They're not really talking about technical medical information. They're talking more about daily living. Okay? What's that about? This is the mind Dharma, isn't it? Lifestyle is basically a mind Dharma. Yeah? So that's why Mahayana, our approach to healing is much more comprehensive. Questions? But don't tell people others that because they won't believe it. They only want quick fixes. They want a famous healer to come and heal them, and then they feel good for a few weeks, and then say, oh, it's very good. I have this problem. They fix this for me. Right? It's a mandate. And then they go back and then they keep making boo-boos again. Okay? That's called stupidity. I'll give you an example of the healing power of Mahayana later. Okay? Coming up. Medicine. as we know it. Okay? Medicine here, this is the Chinese character of medicine. We are on slide number 8. Because eventually, we have Skype up, by the way, thanks to Danny's help. Now, we'll announce it right today. Danny sent out an email saying that I don't think we have Skype at Rosemead Temple yet.
We can set up a wireless router if you want to do that.
Do you have a router?
Yeah,
A used one or a new one?
new.
A new one? I have a used one. See, you shouldn't buy new things. I have a lot.
I have it.
He had a used one too.
Oh. Yeah, try out because sometimes the used one may not be stable, especially during Dharma talks. Maybe.
Really?
You
Mine is
never
pretty
know.
stable.
Okay.
Mine is something. Okay. Anyway, you should come back with me and take a look at that and get the equipment. Because it has the power, big thing, power thing, and then look up the menu.
If you want, I can bring tomorrow to Rosemead. I have the Mimo, the Mimo.
Oh, really?
That's
Really? So the better one?
Yeah, and because they have different phases.
Better research.
Yeah, the fancier one, the fancy one. So the problem with the roast meat is I'm not sure how long we can be there. You see, roast meat. Here I don't mind because here we know that we do have control. Over there, we're not sure how much longer we can be welcome. And I'm not used to pissing off to women, okay?
Well, that's not.
I never learned how to tell you the truth. I'm still stupid. So stupid. All my life, never learned how to kiss up the women. So that's the problem. But we might as well set it up. The reason I kind of back off a little because we don't want to touch the equipment so that something goes wrong. One more reason to
Get in trouble.
To get in trouble, yes.
But we can set a separate router and then we just change from
The modem to the router.
from the router. So
You can?
we have a different setup of router.
Yeah, and I get my own mixer as well, so I don't need to go and fix the volume and all these things everywhere I go. It's just such a pain. Anyway, so we have Skype here next week. We should make the announcement. And tomorrow, if we fix it, we should tell people because some people are interested in listening to a lecture. Okay. So in terms of medicine, there are two major kinds. The material medicine and the Dharma medicine. Okay, the actual medicine itself. Okay, it's basically made of minerals, herbal, or animal. Got that? Medicine, nature is really three physical things, properties, either mineral, animal, or herbal. Right?
Right.
In essence, when you use those different types of materials, you need to use a prescription. The doctor must know, the healer must know how to combine them, how to use them, how to time the use, with the frequency. Okay? And they come in the form of either a pill, tablet, all those things. Okay? Whereas, what people don't realize is that Mahayana offers Dharma medicine. Okay? That's in the form of our canon, our Tripitaka. You know that? That's medicine for your mind. Remember? That mind sicknesses, they can't get. The best cure for them is the Faya, the Dharma medicine. And ours, Tripitaka, is really the Dharma medicine. Okay? For the mind sicknesses. And the vehicles, in Mahayana we have 5 vehicles, 3 vehicles, 1 vehicle and so on, are the equivalent of the prescription, how to use those medicines. Okay? Also, 1/3 form of Dharma medicine in Mahayana is Dharani, the mantras. This is why the Tibetans are so effective. They use a lot of Dharanis. You know that? That's why they're effective. Okay? And there's no medicine. Non-medicine meaning that there's no such a thing. Everything is medicinal properties. Okay? Everything can be used as medicine if you know how to use it. Okay? Any questions? That's the nature of medicine for you. That's Mahayana approach.
The last one in the non-medicine there, that one there, explain it to me again.
Dharani is the medicine master mantra.
Oh, the mantra.
That's one. That's the Dharani.
The medicine master mantra.
Yes, those are mantras. Okay?
Question on the mantra.
Yeah.
My wife, when she crossed the leg and she get hurt, she keep telling me that the mantra, by reciting the mantra, she doesn't feel hurt. Is that true?
It's working for her.
Because she keep telling. I was thinking that maybe she want me to learn, so that's what she tell me.
Yeah. You refuse to learn it, right?
Well, I'm not refusing, but I'm still dragging with it.
The mantra has 11 lines, and he's dragging his feet. It's too much work.
That's one of the easier ones to learn. It really is, Walk. It's one of the easier ones. Oh, yeah, we got one. We have one lines now. Except the one he did.
Speaking of non-medicine, this is what happened between the universal worthy. See, I have typos all over. Universal worthy bodhisattva. Universal worthy bodhisattva who is teaching good wealth bodhisattva. Okay, you can learn more about this one at lecture on the Flower Adornment Sutra. Universal worthy is one of the four big Mahasattvas who are supporting Shakyamuni Buddha. And he's helping them teach the bodhisattvas. And good wealth is a pure youth bodhisattva. Okay, so anyway, this great bodhisattva Mahasattva is teaching another bodhisattva called good wealth. Okay, and he says, go to the mountain, collect all medicinal herbs, and bring them all back for me. Okay? And good wealth went to the mountain and returned empty-handed. Universal worthy bodhisattva asked him, why? Didn't you find any medicinal herbs? He says, too many. If the whole mountain is full of, I found too many medicinal herbs. I don't know which one to take them back. So Universal worthy bodhisattva said, okay, I give you a smaller project. Why don't you go out there and collect all non-medicinal herbs? And after a while, good wealth bodhisattva came back, also empty-handed. Asked why, he said, too many. The side of the mountain is full of non-medicinal herbs. So it's an anecdote to tell you it's all in the mind. It's how you see it, how you use it. See that? Everything is medicine if you know how to use it. It's how you prescribe it, the doctor prescribes it. Okay? In terms of the Dharma medicine here, the Tripitaka, which is the Sutra store, the Vinaya, see I have a typo here. Vinaya store Excuse me. I don't fix it now, I forget. Okay, Vinaya, which is the precept store, and the Shastra, which is the commentaries from the Bodhisattvas or the enlightened cultivators. Okay. With the Buddhist canon here today at lunch, Danny helped me find the C beta, the electronic version of the Buddhist canon. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I highly recommend it. One day I learn how to use it. We have really, it's a treasure store of all these ancient Buddhist wisdom. You don't find any. Right now, for example, all these years, I've been going out to libraries all over California to try to find text for me to help me understand these sutras better. And the newer text, as I was telling Danny, is that newer text and newer known Dharma masters, even though they're very erudite and they're very versed on the Tipitaka, I look at their explanations and I'm not happy. They don't connect. They don't understand. In my eyes. So I'm keen on. I'm insistent on getting the true, actual ancient text because that's what I value. It's really from the patriarchs, from the Bodhisattvas. I don't need newer people, the younger people, or more famous, more contemporary masters to massage it for me. I just need the raw text. And so it's a real treasure store because it contains limitless Dharma doors, limitless ways to heal. Okay? And whereas vehicles in terms of Dharma door, the Dharma medicine is that you have the 5 vehicles, the 3 vehicles, and 1 vehicle. The 5 vehicles include the God vehicle, the human vehicle, the Arhat vehicle, the Pratyeka Buddha vehicle, and Bodhisattva vehicle. Okay? Whereas the 1 vehicle here, that's a 5 vehicle. The 1 vehicle, the 3 is only the 3 of them. Meaning Arhat, Pratyeka, and Bodhisattva. Whereas the 1 vehicle refers to Mahayana, or 1 Buddha vehicle, basically. That's what 1 vehicle refers to. So don't get confused. 5 vehicle is a lower level, from human to the Bodhisattva level. 1 vehicle is the Buddha vehicle. One vehicle. Vehicle is the analogy for the ability to ferry living beings to the Pure Land, to liberation. Okay? So the 1 vehicle, the Buddha vehicle, is the ability to ferry everyone, including Bodhisattvas. Okay? And then the third kind of Dharma medicine is Dharani. Dharani is Sanskrit for to unite and hold. Unite all dharmas and hold limitless meaning. So when you recite that medicine master mantra, for example, that's what happened. You are reciting limitless meaning, you're reciting limitless dharma. That's how powerful it is. In just 11 lines. See that? You don't need to learn about Tripitaka, learn about C-Beta and do search. You recite 11 lines, and over time you understand all these limitless dharmas. See, for people like me who have to make a living explaining sutras, I can't wait much longer, so I have to go do research. You guys, you can simply recite it, eventually the wisdom unfolds. You see that? That's the beauty of it. 1 mantra, that's it. You keep recite, and naturally your wisdom unfolds. You plant seeds for wisdom to understand all these dharmas. Okay? So don't think that when we ask you to memorize and recite things for a reason, not out of arbitrary, out of whim. Okay. And the other meaning of Dharani is to cover and hold, cover all evil sicknesses and to hold all good dharmas. That's how you heal. You heal by covering up all the bad stuff. Let them stifle out. Let them die of lack of light, sunlight and oxygen and water. Okay? And therefore, whatever goodness you can muster, you can gather, you hold it. You retain it. Dharani also is more well-known, commonly known as a mantra. It has secret meanings. Today, this is your contribution to Mahayana, to the West. The fact you gather here today and listen and lecture made me prepare for this. Because if you didn't come back, Randy, Walk, Danny, the white chicks, okay, I wouldn't bother. I would simply use last year's lecture. Okay? So this year I explain more on the secret dharmas of mantras. Not that some people who are not interested in secret dharmas, no problem. However, in the future, there's some people like myself when I first started. I read all Master Shaima's books. None explains how to cultivate this. Okay? No. I asked the Heng Chang and the Heng Shuer and all those things. Tell me. This is only available in Chinese. Tripitaka. Okay? Secret school, the mantra cultivation techniques has 3 portions. Mudras, you recite it and you contemplate. Okay? For example, when I was translating some secret dharmas, they didn't teach me this contemplation. I didn't understand that's what I was supposed to do. When you cultivate these secret dharmas, there's a mudra. You hold your hands certain ways. There's mudras. For example, when you sit there and we teach you to recite the medicine master mantra, what are you doing your hands like this, right? That's a mudra.
The way you hold
This is a
your
mudra.
hand. It's a position there.
Yeah, that's a mudra. You hold your hands certain ways.
Okay. That's the way you hold it?
Yeah, like this. Yeah.
Thumbs together, your
Yeah.
fingers flat.
Like this.
We are not
Straight.
all whoever.
Yeah, this is Vairocana mudra.
Movements. Yeah. Just different
We
positions.
reverse like this or?
Yeah. I go like this so you can see.
Okay.
You go like this only when you try to impress people. Okay?
And slow to it.
When you do the
Because
Master Mantra, you're supposed
I
to
didn't
do it by
learn
death and recite the
medicine,
mantra.
that's why. And slow.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a mudra. Okay? That's when you recite the mantra, that's when you put in the mudra. Then you recite. So your hand, your body, this mudra is the body. Recite is your mouth.
Yes.
Right? Contemplation is your mind. See that? All 3 have to be in sync. So you contemplate. What am I teaching you this year? What contemplation am I teaching you when you recite the mantra? The Dandian or the sound.
The sound.
It's a contemplation. Right? When all those 3 are in sync, then you obtain a response, you accomplish the Dharma. That's the recipe for secret school cultivation.
In one of the book I saw from
No one knows it. Not available in English. No, Vietnamese.
Master is at the right hand on top. Like
Yeah, something.
It's
Now she takes it serious.
Well, we didn't know.
Well, I asked you that
It took me several years. It's not until recently I need to do research. I look at this and this is what I'm supposed to do.
But Master, if you say it's no longer a secret.
That's why that's your contribution. Because you come to listen to the lecture, I will follow.
Yeah, it's when we're like that.
Okay?
It's flat.
So this is our gift to the future generation, for yourself and to the future generation as well. Because if some of these days when people have access to our MP3 files or our transcription of the lecture, either in Vietnamese or English, they will learn, they understand how to call these mantras. That's a recipe. You need to have a recipe. Okay? Do you know about this, Danny, Mr. Erudition?
Not as precise as this.
My God, extremely precise. See, I don't know why Master Shimon never really explained this. Okay? And this is why he told me to explain things in English. Because I had to go to learn Chinese, to study Chinese, to do research in Chinese. Okay? And explain in English so that you guys understand it, and translate in Vietnamese so that the Vietnamese understand. See, guys, this is how blessed it is. Think about it. Today, if there were a Vietnamese person in here, then I have to explain in Vietnamese. See obstructions? See how tough it is to receive Dharma to cultivate? So right now the instruction is only available in English, not Vietnamese yet. See? Only one Vietnamese.
I heard that there are some people who abuse the secret school mantras. That's why they don't teach it that much.
They're
It's
what?
not.
Randy?
It's not.
They're what? Randy?
They abuse them.
But Randy, what about people like us who are not intent on abusing it? Okay, where do we look for information? Where do we look for guidance? Even the Hung Cha and all those guys don't know because I asked. Well, there's a reason he didn't want to teach me. I don't blame him. But anyway,
I guess that's what I heard.
that was that boy.
That's what I heard. That some people use it to make money and do weird things.
Sure. Yeah.
Is this for other people also, or is it only for our own?
For other people, this one anyone.
We can do
It's so
this
good to me.
on behalf. That's what, on behalf of other people, or do we just do it for ourselves?
For now, you do it for yourself.
Just for,
You do not meddle.
oh,
You do not meddle. You cannot handle it. It is, remember that anecdote I told you earlier about a 90-year-old man who had a stroke, who has a demented daughter. There's a price to pay when you meddle. You're not equipped to handle it. I do not want any of you to meddle. Not yet. It's not worth it. It ain't worth it. Not to you. Okay? So the three components have to be in unison for you to accomplish the Dharma. Okay? When you accomplish the Dharma, you obtain great and wonderful use. It can the responses are inconceivable. That's why the Chinese, the Taiwanese, in particular the Taiwanese and the Vietnamese are in such in love with the Tibetan Dharma because mantras. Yeah, the supreme vehicle, right? That's what they call themselves. Secret Dharma, secret school, they call themselves supreme vehicle. The Chan school call it themselves as superior vehicle, for superior people vehicle, superior roots vehicle. Whereas the secret school, they call themselves as supreme vehicle. Yeah, give me a break. Okay?
So we gotta have the mantra, the reciting it, and the contemplation all coordinated.
Yeah, they recite it and then you come. Okay. Questions?
Is this an overall body mantra, or is it just specific areas of your, where you need the medicine, or what is it?
This mantra here can heal all kinds of sicknesses. All kinds. Okay. Any other questions?
How about you recite Buddha's name? Is it different?
Different use. Different use. Even different Buddha's name have different use. Amitabha's name is to pave the way for you for rebirth. That's its primary strength. Is rebirth. But you can still use it to deal with the ghosts and spirits as well. Remember when I told you the anecdotes about the ghosts trying to want to become possessed at Shami in San Jose? And I started reciting Buddha's name, who wouldn't dare come in. So has secondary uses. But the primary use is rebirth. Okay? Medicine Master Buddha's name is for rebirth, but also equally important is to help you with your sicknesses and your various obstructions, your disasters. Okay? So it's different. The mantra, each mantra has its particular use as well. Its particular specialty. For example, in Mahayana, the most important mantra is the Shuramana mantra. That's the most important one. That's the king of the king of mantras. And we, as left-home people, fully ordained people, are supposed to memorize it as part of our requirement to receive full ordination. You know that? Why is that? Because if you recite the Shuramana mantra, okay, if you memorize it, you can recite it, then all the demons and the ghosts and the externalists will not dare cause trouble. We're saving the world. As long as one person is able to recite that mantra, all the demons and ghosts and externalists will be kept in check. That's why it's that important to us. That's why in Mahayana, in the temples, we recite that mantra once a day in the morning ceremony. When you go to, let's say, Xingyu's temple, for example, they don't really recite it anymore. You know that? They don't recite it in the morning ceremony. I was there. What does it tell you? Not the same side as we are. Okay? Because that mantra is that important. And one of these days, in fact, I have the printout in English, one page or 2 pages. That my transmission, since I mentioned it, my transmission, I will give it to you. Okay, and I have those that transparent thing. What do you call it?
Lamination.
Lamination. Okay, so I will print it, and you guys, one of you wants to volunteer. I have a hand rolled laminator, and then I have corner trimmers as well. So I don't have to prepare for anything because the big Dharma assembly, I need to have all these different gadgets. Okay, because when I, for example, when we do a lunch ceremony, a short lunch ceremony, I would hand out these things, laminated things, so that they don't get spoiled or soiled. Okay, so respecting the Dharma. Same thing. So do that, then I will give it to you. I think Danny is too busy. I'm gonna have to find another volunteer. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, volunteer. I have the color printer. I print it on both sides, either Chinese or you can request either 2 pages or 1 page. What's your preference?
Well, 1 page, 2-sided.
1 page, 2-sided.
I think it's better, don't you? 1 page and 2-sided?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 page, 2-sided. What do you mean?
One paper with 2 sides.
One side is English,
Front
the
back.
other side is Chinese or whatever.
Yeah, or even have the Sanskrit Dharma.
You do?
Yeah. So 1 page have English or Chinese, or the other side I have the Sanskrit diagram.
Oh, that's
It's a treasure. So you bring it. What happens if you bring this back and it will get laminated? And so I bring the lamination tomorrow to the other temple. Okay. And you figure out how to use it. I never use. I bought it. I never use it.
Oh, how funny.
And along with these things, and then the trimmer, corner trimmers as well. I have 2 kinds. I'm a gadget. What did I want to say? I forgot.
About the Sanskrit.
No, but the
Bringing it
important
back.
Sanskrit.
Oh, when you bring it back.
You want to bring it back?
Bring what?
Bring Sanskrit or the paper home.
No, I print on the other side.
All right.
I use a thicker paper so that the black colors and show through the other side. And then we laminate it. And then so you recite this mantra once a day. If you do that, you know what it does for you?
I'll take it. Or you even tell me, I'll take it one.
I think you'll be born as an emperor.
No, wheel turning king, higher.
Or wheel turning king.
If you
I have
recite
to check
every
it.
day, you become wheel turning king in the next life if you want to be wheel turning king.
Is that?
The what?
Wheel turning king.
I just want to be reward.
The wheel turning or the J
If you
woman.
have a thought, for sure you will be
I'll be
reward,
around
but if you
that.
don't know where.
I'll
You
be
never
back
know.
as a meeting.
What's the problem? We never know. Okay?
That's the chance.
Something could go wrong. When it's time for you to die, how old are you? Is you 45 yet?
He's past 45.
He passed.
I bet he's in his 50s. I know he is.
Boy, somebody's in trouble. So when you recite this, you don't need to memorize it. You see, that's the beauty of the Dharma. Even if you don't need to recite it from reading it, you receive the same exact benefits as someone who recites it from memory.
Is this the
No
one that's
difference.
500 lines?
Hmm?
Is this the one that's 500 lines?
Yeah, 554.
550?
Yeah,
One
exactly.
copy had 540.
554.
Sometimes they merge the 2 lines. Sometimes I see them separated.
Mine is 544, 54.
Is that the sheer
I will
Dharma?
print it. I will gladly give you some. Okay.
No, I already memorized. I typed it out.
You memorized it?
Yeah, 22 pages.
And you bring it back home and you put it on an altar.
They gave me a copy a long time ago at the original Goryeo Temple. They gave me a copy in Chinese, and I had a frame. And
Yeah.
they said you put that in your house, and then
They cannot poison you.
yeah,
You cannot be
house
poisoned.
cultivation. Yeah.
Yeah, they say hurt. You see, it's beautiful. I mean, all these are fruit
I'd like
are
to see that,
yes.
Randy.
So do we do this recite and contemplate also?
No, this is
Wow.
just when you do that, you are creating a lot of blessings, and you are helping your own area, because when you recite it, all the ghosts and the demons around your area are in check. They stand up and respect and say, the mantra is being recited. I better be respectful. They behave. Yes.
Just to double check, that is in Chinese, that's 楞严经, right?
楞严咒.
咒.
You can have it in Chinese as well, 1 page, but the 1 page Chinese is way too small. You can't get it. So The one page in English you can still read it, but the 2 pages is easier to read when you have to flip it though. I like the 1 pager because I don't need to flip it. I just go like this. Okay, so Randy doesn't want it. Who wants a 1 pager?
No.
You don't want it.
No, I just want whatever comes.
How about 1 pager, 2 pager?
I'm doing the work, so I have to use half it.
He'll collect them. How about you, Danny? You don't want anything? You have it already? So you bring it back, you put it on the altar, you can make offerings. You're actually making offerings to the jewel, no different.
I don't even know.
Okay? And if you put it in the house, that in a like an altar, a place where you worship, actually you're receiving protection. What happens is that wherever the mantra is, there are Vajra spirit protectors around it, protecting it. Same thing as a Buddha image. Same exact thing. They're protecting it. Okay? Wherever the mantra is, that's what the Buddhas are. That's how. So it's really a precious thing. Don't take it lightly. So it's a gift. Alright?
Is this a very small print that you're talking about, but several?
1 page. Yeah. Let me see, I have.
But several.
You still can read it. You still can do it.
As long as you can read it,
Yeah. If not, you can always get 2 pages.
Well, I want to
Maybe
know,
you
if
get
you
both.
recite this, can you recite this walking?
You know, you cross your legs and you start from beginning to
The
end.
medicine master you're talking about.
The medicine,
Yeah,
you can do
walk,
walking or sitting or whatever.
the mudra and this recitation and contemplation is when you cross your legs and then when you do these things. Okay? That's where when you have the best concentration. But you can do mudras on the side and contemplate while walking as well. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Let's go 2 pages. So it's not so small.
2 pages, okay. 2
But
pages.
flip it on what, like, you have 1 page on top and then put the second page on the, you know what I mean?
I have double-sided and
Yeah.
dual-sided
Yeah,
and dual printing.
all 1 page,
So,
but
1 page.
left and on top is 1 and then split.
The problem with the 20-pound paper is that it prints through. So I will print on a little bit thicker paper, like 32 pounds or 40 pounds. Then it won't show through.
Cool. But then you know with the Sanskrit on the back.
No, you don't. You can't have a cake and eat it too.
I want 2 pages of Sanskrit on the back.
You can't. Yes, that's 3 pages.
Mel told me that he read from Triple. He said that when we recite the mantra like the Dai Bei Jiao without using the mudras, he says it's like hands without legs. You need to do both together.
No, that's very Shufu is referring to. Mel doesn't understand is that is the hands and eyes down, not the mudras. See, when he read it, he looked at it as the hands. He didn't realize it's and now you interpret it as mudras. No, this is the Dabejo, the Great Compassion Mantra, and then the hands and eyes down. Okay?
2 separate arms.
Yes, 2 separate arms. Okay? Any questions?
So going back to contemplate, is there a way to combine like the hearing and the dancing? Can you do that? I personally cannot do the 2 things together.
Do what?
Using the hearing and also the dancing for contemplation.
You focus. The Dandian is basically an expedient for you to center yourself somewhere. Okay. When you first go to your Dandian and you concentrate on your listening from your Dandian. Got that? Because when you focus on your hearing and listening, is from up here, right? That's where your brain's up. I'm saying go down to your Dandian first and then pay attention to your ears. Okay? That's the Dharma. It's an expedient. Go down here. Don't stay up here. Go down to your Dandian first and then concentrate.
I like that, Master.
Okay. Any other questions? Most people don't understand it. And Charan's been teaching the Namgying for all these years. He just still doesn't understand it. Okay? It's only speaking. So go down. Yes. So you want 2 pages or 1 pager? This is.
2 pages.
2 pages.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Can I have 1 page?
How about print out both and then see which one's
Two
better?
ones.
Print me some $100.
Thanks.
I need to bigger print.
I'll print you the nothing myself. $500 one.
But I don't want to have just a nice.
Even at $300, you probably won't be able to use it anyway.
I can get a 2 pager. That's fine.
Yeah, it's bigger print.
It's really a wonderful Dharma.
550.
And the nice thing about it, you are really making a huge difference. Because this mantra, if you recite it, boy, the ghosts and spirits are going to know about you. And then creating the seeds for them to come and respect and protect you in the future. Okay, so the full title of this sutra is the Sutra of the Merit and Virtue of the Past Vows of Medicine Master Julia Light Tathagata. Okay, got that? And on slide number 12. We still with me? Okay.
We think so.
Yes. Why did I fly through this when I only have to speak in English?
Yeah.
Will we ever be saying these mantras as a group?
Yeah, we will have a 1-day visitation.
Or just once?
That's why I mean, not once, but a full day visitation. See what happens, we come here and we practice here, okay? But eventually, if there are more people in the future who are interested in coming and learn and practice, then we go back to, let's say, either here, we can rent a whole place in 1 day, or the entire day, or go to a temple like Rosemead or the other Rosemead temple, where we can practice for the entire day. Okay? Then it's even better. But all those require support. I need someone who can pick the woodfish that won't make me fall asleep too much. And then hopefully
You'll end up going faster towards the end.
in the future, I'm trying to teach some, if we go to Rosemead, I'm asking the other nuns to go and do the Dharma instruments. Okay? Because you notice that when you and me only in the morning, when we circumambulate, the pacing is pretty good. Our rhythm is pretty good, right? But when we go to Rosemead, the other nun, her timing is off. It's like either slow or fast, and it changes every 2 minutes.
And that thing, the thing in metal.
Yeah, that Nijong thing. Oh, I'm glad she's not hitting it anymore.
Oh,
It drives me nuts.
the first time I went nuts too, and I'm thinking, poor thing, how do you stand?
The 15 minutes and I couldn't.
Every morning we go to circumambulate, her timing is always off. And then she chants all these high pitches.
Well, one time she was.
I thought Randy was off too. Hers is even like 10 times worse.
Randy's not bad.
He's improved so much.
Yes,
You came this morning?
Yeah, it was very
It's
good.
off.
Yeah.
Actually, you're supposed to go when you at the Long Beach. They told us when you walk, so the right steps first, Namo Ami, and then Ami is the second one, and then towards your 4th step, and then 4. You're supposed to walk all the same step too.
No.
So
We all
that's
are
why if
supposed
you go to Go Wheel, they all walk the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that's the way.
It's like you become moody robots.
Yeah, one altogether. I'm sure that's the way, and a couple of times when I was there, one of the nuns, was going like this, and everybody was going too fast. She was trying to slow down the tempo.
Yeah. You see?
You know, they don't talk, but you can see her hand go
That's DRBA, Pure Land Dharma. This is our Pure Land Dharma. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. Okay? Huge difference because I do not believe that that's a good thing to practice. It's too distracting. I do not want you to concentrate on anything but what? The navel and the sound. Ours is far more going to yield you much faster results. I can tell you that.
The navel and the sound, right, Master?
That's it.
That's what I think.
Nothing else.
Right.
Nothing else. You don't get afflicted because he walks different or walk too slow, or pay attention to whatever. You only pay attention to one thing only. That's it. You see that? Why you have to complicate it? You have to simplify. This is the difference. This is why I'm teaching you and not using DRBA's Pure and Dharma. Ours is slightly different. They will teach us how to do that. Yeah. We are the only one who teaches how. Okay? Any other questions? There's no need to go one step and so on because now you have to pay attention to your pacing. Okay? And then the speed. Okay? And then you keep on adding because yeah, of course, what you're doing, you're keeping your mind busy, okay? And after all those things, it goes back to only one. You create single-mindedness, okay? So why on earth do I ask you right now? Why do you have to focus on the way you walk? Because eventually you don't care anyway, do you? It won't help you enter samadhi. Entering samadhi requires single-mindedness. Think of one thing only.
No, everybody, each of us are doing.
You see that? That's the difference between once you understand the Dharma versus you're still trying to understand it. That's Taiwanese. That's Taiwanese approach.
That's where it came from, Taiwan.
Yeah.
Actually, they said it came from.
They were a good Dharma instrumentation.
I was just born there.
Nothing personal. You know, the funny thing is that when Master YongHua transmitted the Pure Land Dharma back with Zhou and Shu and so on, they don't practice it anymore. So we don't know exactly what Master YongHua taught. I'm not happy with the Taiwanese approach. So can call it DRBA whatever because the DRBA right now is dominated by the Taiwanese nuns. And so the CTTV, when you go there, basically is run by the nuns. Hung Lu only is rubber stamp stuff. It doesn't do anything. Okay? He has nothing more to add. The nuns at levels high Hung Lu's anyway. He has no more wisdom to impart. Okay? It's the time that he wisens up and then go to Highway 9 and unfold his wisdom because until that happens, you can't add much to the running of the CTTV. Now, and so the Taiwanese nuns, then they come and invent all these things from Taiwan, brought those things, nice things from Taiwan, instrumentation and all these rules and all these mantras and so on. Necessary. I wish that they would have recordings of Master YongHua's actual Pure Land transmission. I'd like to know that. I'd like to hear that. To see how he wanted to teach us. Until I hear that, this is how this is how we can practice it. Our Pure Land Dharma. Okay? Same thing. The dictionary at Rosemary told me that, when you go fast, you're supposed to speed it up before you stop. I said, no. We go one speed, period.
When we sit down, we have 6 speeds. You go, a little bit faster, then a little bit faster,
Yeah.
and then it's like 4 or 5 speeds, and then stop.
That's Taiwanese.
Yeah, actually it's going to be tomorrow too.
And as soon as I explained that Bhikshuni roast me, yeah, of course. It's not Taiwanese, it's American. This is American film, they don't eat Taiwanese. Okay. Any questions? So this is the actual title, so we're going to go through and explain the title a little bit. Okay? I'm on the slide number 13. Every now and then remind me to show the number of slides so that in the future when we post these things, people on the internet or listen to the MP3 files are able to follow them. Because the Earth Core Sutra, I have over 1,000 slides. So imagine you jump in the middle of an MP3 file somewhere and then you try to find a slide for that. It's rather unpleasant, very user unfriendly. So I'm learning as I get older to be more user friendly so that people can be nicer to me in the future. They don't have to be so mean to me all the time. You have to earn it. I finally understand that. It's the reason why people are mean to me. Okay. Alright. Sutra has 4 general meanings. We go through the major wordings of the Sutra title to explain a little bit. Sutra has 4 general meanings. The stringing together of all the principles and meanings in Mahayana in one sutra. Or it also means attracting living beings with the proper Dharma. There's a Dharma, for example, today here, the medicine master Buddha Dharma is to attract people who want to be concerned about rebirth. And then number 2, they're concerned about the current life, the current body. Okay? So the particular Dharma has a different type of attraction. Okay. Tomorrow's lecture is the Earth Core Sutra, which is more concerned about filiality, and then the suffering that you see that the lower realm, especially the health beings undergo. Okay, so different sutras have different are designed, have different designs for particular different needs. It's constant because the sutra is constant throughout time. The sutra, as we explain it today, this sutra here, is the same sutra that will explain in the past will also be explained. The same principles will be explained in the future as well. Okay, Dharma. The 4th meaning of sutra is a Dharma meaning as a standard. Standard is that is something that is recognized by all Buddhas throughout the universe. That's the way to explain things. That's the way to teach. Okay? And then as a result, it is revered by all living beings throughout the universe as a standard of wisdom. Okay? It also means path. Path, the important concept behind path is cultivation is a journey. You need to have a roadmap. So you study the sutras so that it gives you a roadmap on where to go. This is, if you will, like the directions you get from Google Map. Okay? You know exactly where to go to turn, where the milestones are. Okay? Bubbling spring, meaning is endless. If you really ask me, you think you understand the sutras, even though this is not the 3rd time or the first time I look at the sutra, that every time I look at it, I understand more. Okay? like example, I gave you an example earlier. As I did my research, I suddenly stumbled into the recipe for the secret school Dharma. Okay? Because it's all contained in this sutra, and yet it to be uncovered as the longer you look at it, the more often you look at it, the more the meanings, the principles bubble forth endlessly. Okay? The carpenter's plumb line, okay, because it enables you not to make errors and connect with others. Because if you follow the plumb line, then you're also in sync with the next person who follows the plumb line as well. Okay? So that's what Sutra is really important. Any other questions? Merit and virtue. Merit can be observed. It's external, meaning that it requires activity, okay, requires work. And the merit here, that this sutra here, this Dharma is about, is its healing power. Okay? And the virtue here is internal, meaning it cannot be seen. It's not meant to be seen. Okay? My definition is very, 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 I take it a step further. Virtue usually explained as not visible. I explain it as not meant to be seen. That's what virtue is about. No one wants you to know about the virtues. A virtuous person does not want you to know about his or her virtues. That's why he or she is virtuous. Okay? And this is the difference between Mahayana approach and the one person with wisdom, with Kung Fu versus a person with a low level of Kung Fu. Like Vicky, for example, she amazed at how people respond to her, are influenced, affected by her. What is it showing? She doesn't know how to use it yet. If you know how to use it, no one's going to know it. No one have an idea that of your power, your abilities. And this is why when you practice at a lower levels, you see all these, you discover all these things, you say, oh, this is so cool, I can do this thing, I can have it. You know, like Linda, when I taught writing, I didn't want to tell you this earlier. I sort of tiptoed around it, just like Mel's example. When I taught Ryan about the sleeping, he asked me about that Dharma because he was interested in becoming just like me. I mean, not like me, a level person. You do not want to be like me, trust me. That's the last thing you want. You're very clear about it, okay? So he was interested in becoming a level person. So I said, try these dharmas. Don't go to those places yet because they train arhats. Horrible things to do. People train arhats in my book. Okay? Until you can have people who can train bodhisattvas, then it's okay to go. But until they have the skills, you go there and you bury your future. Anyway, so but try these dharmas at home. Try sit sleeping. So after 2 hours with me, and he said, "Oh, I know so much. Let me go and try it." And he tried it, couldn't make it. Okay? And of course, when you bring forth the mind to cultivate a dharma, you have obstructions come to you in series. Okay? Non-stop. So pretty soon, Ryan lost his resolve, his interest in becoming a leftful person. Then later on, 2 months later, the white chicks came to San Jose and went to San Jose with me. So I taught them the sit sleeping now. Okay? So We don't stop. We sit and we sleep. Okay? We don't stop by a motel and rest for the night because I'm cheap. So while they sleep, I drive. Or while I sleep, they drive. No, not like that. Not yet. I don't trust you. Women, do you trust women driving? Ask what?
That was the problem.
No comment.
No comment.
I'm not going there.
Bob is taking the fifth.
We
So-
weren't trusted. Oh.
So after a few months, they got it. These girls, the white chicks, they got it. They understand how to sit sleep. And then Ryan became interested. He came once, he went with us one along once, and he said, oh, this is so hot. Oh my God, you guys are also inhuman. He hurt so much. And then I think he was exposed to our sleeping technique, right? And he asked you more, and you taught him, right? And then what happened? He got it.
Yeah, you got it.
He got it. He said, hallelujah, now I can do it. Would you like to know why? Why come I taught him, he didn't get it? When, long legs taught him, he got it. How is spiritual power? You see, Linda, if you can do it, so could I. Why didn't I do it? Because I had the choice, I chose not to do it. Because if I did it, then he would not have failed. Then he would not realize how tough it is to be a that-home person. Okay? So, you understand these things, you have a choice when to do it, for what purpose. You don't just go around saying, look how great I am. You want me to teach you? No problem. See how great I am? Huh? Tell your friend, okay? Tell you how great I am. And I have more people come. What for? Because as soon as you reveal it, they come and say, give it to me, give it to me, give me some more, give me some more. Give me some more. That's all you guys want, everyone. Give me some more, give me some more. What else have you got? Nothing. Okay? So anyway, so you learn, the virtue is that it's not meant to be seen. It's not like you hide it. It's not meant to be seen. That's what virtue is about. You're not supposed to be able to recognize it. You're not supposed to know about it. So you cultivate virtues and hoping that people will recognize you as a virtuous one. That Dharma you're cultivating is not the virtue Dharma, let me tell you. It ain't. Okay? And that's why sages are there. They perfect those virtues. That's why they're sages. Because they perfect those cultivations. Okay? Questions? Master. Master. Why is it called master? A master is a person who can accord and guide. Why is it important to accord? First, you don't accord with living beings, they run away from you. Because all you guys are interested in is get your way. Right? I want 2 pages, and then I want the Sanskrit characters as well. Okay? You don't want it, you can't have it, I don't want it. Right?
Whatever you want us to have, Master.
Whatever you want, we'll try our best to get the accord with you. And then, once you accord with them, you have to be nimble enough to maneuver with them and guide them to avoid obstacles. Okay? That's why you will become a master. You remember I said something about a lay person Dharma versus a leftward person Dharma? Because when I teach you the thing, I don't tell you how to accord, I will teach you how to guide. I will teach you how to do it. Right? You don't need to know how to accord, you don't need to know how to guide. Not yet. Among other things. Okay? It's more than being a master than simply a court and guide. For today, we talk about court and guide. Okay. And the master is a person who has a knowledge of medicine and can cure sicknesses. This is what the master word means in the title. This person has used medicine and has the knowledge on healing knowledge. In China, the Emperor Shenlong is considered to be the father of the Chinese medicine. What happened is that he tasted the 100 herbs on himself. He tested all these herbs on himself. See how the reaction on those herbs on his own body. And that's how he acquired the knowledge. This is an emperor now, mind you. This is not the kind of emperor who sits there and enjoy all the delicacies and the wine and the belly dancing, and all this music. No, this person here is working hard to help his subjects. Okay? And he's invented Chinese herbal medicine. Supposedly. Okay? He's actually a bodhisattva. And this master here, medicine master Buddha here, is the master of the other 9 realms. Because all the other 9 realms have their own sicknesses. And only the Buddha as the master can help heal them. Bodhisattvas too have their own sicknesses. They also need the Buddha's intervention. Okay? Master as opposed to non-master. Non-master is that the people with the median views. Median, meaning they do not believe in cause and effect. Right? Questions? Vows. As far as people goes, they make resolutions. They want this, they want that. They resolve to get there, and they do this and do that. Okay, when I was younger, I resolved to buy a 2-seater Mercedes as part of the fact that I made it professionally as an executive. I made it. You're supposed to drive it. That's SL model. And the world people, they use the resolution to guide them so that they will not leave them halfway, stop halfway, and they do not become daunted by hardships. Whereas the vows here of the sages, when they make the vows are for a worthy and lofty cause. The vows are designed to help them seek wisdom, to help others, and they made with a pure mind, not for selfish motives. Okay? Those vows. That's the difference between the worldly people versus the sages. Okay. Past vows here in the title name, the title refers to the 12 great vows of Medicine Master Buddha, which we'll list later in the text, encompassing the 4 great Bodhisattva vows that you made when you take refuge with the Buddha, with the Triple Jewel. You say the vow to save limitless living beings, to sever the inexhaustible afflictions, to study the immeasurable Dharma doors, and succeed in the unsurpassed way, the Buddha way. So the 4 great vows, the first vow to say living beings refers to the fact that you recognize that living beings are in great suffering. So the truth of suffering. When you make a vow of severing the inexhaustible afflictions, you are, when you cultivate, work towards that vow, then you're cultivating understanding of the truth of accumulation. Afflictions accumulate. They compound on each other. Okay? When you make a vow, the third great vow of to study the immeasurable Dharma doors, you are creating the causes to accomplish the way. Okay, the truth of the way. And when you make a vow to succeed in the unsurpassed way, then you are creating the condition, the causes for you to accomplish the truth of extinction. Okay? You extinct all sufferings, all defilements.
I thought 4 became before 3. It was like suffering, accumulation, extinction, and the way.
Yeah, it depends on the original Sanskrit thing. It's about time's up. The original Sanskrit is we are at slide number 17. That's the end of today's lecture. When the original Sanskrit, when it came from the Sanskrit text, it came as the truth of suffering, accumulation, extinction, and the way. No, the way and extinction. The way that leads to extinction. So in Chinese, because when they translated extinction and the way into Chinese and lumped it together, they found that to reverse the order of the last 2 a little bit, make it sound more fluid. That's why they switch it around. Okay, any other questions? Yes?
Are there the same number of afflictions as there are Dharma doors?
What?
Afflictions, are there the same amount of afflictions as there are Dharma doors?
Each Dharma door is designed to deal with one particular affliction.
Yes.
Because they are inexhaustible afflictions, therefore they must be equivalently inexhaustible or immeasurable Dharma door to deal with all those afflictions. Does that answer your question?
Master, some monks eat meat. That's not really a Dharma door though, right?
What?
Some monks eat meat. That's not really the proper Dharma door, right?
It's not a good thing because it indulges in gluttony, in seeking after taste.
So that's not really considered a Dharma door. That's considered their way of practice.
A Dharma door is a form of practice to deal with, to fix a problem.
Affliction.
Okay? The Dharma doors are transmitted are taught so that to help you deal with your afflictions, with your problems. So if the particular answer to your question is that if the monk eats meat or eats eggs or Haagen-Dazs, what problem is he fixing? If he's fixing a problem, then it's a Dharma door. If he's not fixing a problem, then it's not a Dharma door.
He's adding a problem.
He's causing problems.
He's adding a problem, not a problem.
Master?
Yeah.
I heard in Master YongHua's tape that he said he doesn't teach about severing the afflictions, right?
He doesn't teach about severing.
He said he's not a proponent of that. Like
Yes, he is. That's what cultivation is about, to sever your afflictions. That's what this is about. To end your afflictions.
Yeah, but he's in Chinese. He's saying that it's not about like 断, like.
You probably taking it out of context. Like your questions are on the Earth Store Sutra, you're on your email. I will explain and answer them tomorrow. You confused. You got some information wrong.
It's not from the Earth Store Sutra.
No, I know, but whatever information in terms of peace, not severing affliction, Mahayana is about severing afflictions. In all the way. That's the reason why we cultivate to end afflictions. End affliction by cutting them off. May the merits and virtues adorn the Buddha's pure land, repaying the 4 kinds of kindness above, aiding the feeble paths below. May those who see and hear all bring forth the holy mind. And when this retribution body is done, be born land of utmost bliss. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we wrapped up quickly.
What's all this? I can over this.
We take care of our equipment first. Don't worry about that. Load up, and then we ask them how what they handle the loaders.